When was the last time you did something for the first time? You remember that feeling of hesitation. Maybe you're not ready. Perhaps you're not good enough. You doubt yourself. It's a long road ahead. And right now you think, safe is a good place to be. You take a step back, but in doing so, you see the whole picture. You remember the stakes you were brave enough to take. So you shout at the unknown no longer, because you are your own master. You rise up, because you know you're not alone. Because you stand on the shoulders of the ones before you. And through them you realize you are more afraid of not trying than failing. They hold your hand, lead you to the peak of your potential. And once on top, you take the leap and do it. The first time you flew and tasted freedom. The first time you went the extra mile and never looked back. The first time you understood that something so small could change the course of your future. The first time you put yourself first. At FirstMetroAsset, we value you and your achievements. As we navigate through this better normal together, we are here to help you cherish your firsts and make those moments last.
Welcome to FAMI Live, your go-to guide to mutual fund investing. So for those na hindi naka-join on our last episode, my name is Ingrid Cruz. I'm a training associate at FAMI.
Hello, everyone. Hello to all our viewers. This is Maureen Seguerra, all the way from Cebu. Maayong hapon. Good afternoon. Hello, Ingrid. Hello to all our viewers. Okay, welcome to another episode of our Family Live. So once again, thank you so much for sharing your Friday afternoon with us. Kindly comment down below if you're watching from anywhere around the Philippines or even outside the country. Baka may mga nanonood tayo watching from Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao.
All right. So feel free to ask any questions then in our comment section. Stay tuned because one lucky viewer will win a prize from us. So just ask a question with the hashtag FamiLive. Ayan. So congratulations to Miss Jonathan on our last live episode's winner. So please check your FB inbox for our message to receive your prize. Ayan, ang dami nang nagko-comment, Mau.
Yeah, so we have viewers from Talisay City. Is that? Yeah, Talisay, Cebu. Hello sa'yo, sir.
Okay. You also have from Russia. Ayan, all over the world nga.
Yeah, hello, Ma'am Berlin Legaspe from Russia. And of course, we also have a viewer from Cagayan de Oro. So Ingrid, we are well represented today, no? So we have from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and of course outside the country. So thank you so much, ma'am, sir, for joining with us this afternoon.
Ayan, sige. So again, we've said this, Mau and I said this for so many times. FAMI's mission is to really transform Filipinos from savers to investors. Now, we really do want to help you in starting your investment journey and help you further if you have started already. Now, having said that, today, Mau and I would want you to relax, learn, and enjoy as we discuss the following, which is we want you to learn the different types of mutual funds. So we will discuss the most conservative to the most aggressive type of mutual fund and define what type of investor you are based on your risk profile and more. So before we move on, we move into this, on our last FAMI FB Live, we discussed what a mutual fund is. So again, a mutual fund is a shared fund that combines the money of investors and will be managed by the experts, the fund managers who will invest the money in stocks, bonds, money market instruments, and or in a combination of these investments. So now, Mao, without further delay, let's start.
Yes, Ingrid, no. So, in our last episode, if you were here last time, we discussed that before jumping into any type of investment, it is very highly recommended for you to know and set your goals first or your purpose. Why are you investing? Para saan ba tong investment na to? Okay, so this afternoon, we will discuss naman the second important priority before investing, and that is to know your risk profile, your appetite when it comes to investment. Anong klaseng investor ka ba? Okay? Why is it important? Because as you can see, kailangan naka-align yung goals mo doon sa profile mo in order for you to meet your expectation or your desired result. Why are you investing in the first place? Right? So, we have three types of investors. The first off is, of course, our conservative type. So, sino-sino ba itong mga investor na po? So, these are those who want their money to grow but does not want to risk his principal investment. So, parang yung pinaka-priority nila is principal protection. And they are much concerned when really doon sa ininvest nilang pera. Madalas, naworry sila kaagad pagka ganun. They are more comfortable investing in short-term or lower risk instrument or type of investment. So commonly, yung characteristic ng mga conservative investors, dalawa lang yung pagbabasihan. They tend to invest more on short-term and lower risk instruments. Okay? So the second one is our aggressive investors. Okay, so who are this type? Sila yung willing to take higher risk for the possibility, of course, of getting better return. Their most priority is to maximize the return or growth of their capital. So more on capital appreciation yung pinaka topmost priority nila. Also, etong mga investor na aggressive, they are more comfortable investing in long-term duration. Kumbaga, they do not worry much on the tenure. Gusto nila long-term commitment for their investment. And also, they do not worry much on the volatility or fluctuation of the money where they invest it to. Okay. And the last but not the least are what we call moderate type of investors. So sila naman, itong mga investor na to, they are more inclined into medium risk type. No? So in this case, they prefer more on capital stability, but of course also generate modest income for them. They are willing to accept some market volatility in exchange of better returns. So kumbaga, in a nutshell, the moderate investors are in between a conservative and an aggressive. They want to invest but not too aggressive or high risk, but at the same time, not too conservative, just like a conservative investor. So guys, okay, those are the three types. So tingin nyo, our dear viewers, where do you belong? What type of investor are you?
Yeah, actually, just type down below kung ano yung type ng investor kayo. And actually, before you presented this investor profile, meron na talagang nag-comment dito si Mr. Van Cortez, sabi niya, he's an aggressive type. So, Mau, ikaw ba, anong type of investor ka?
Ako, personally, no, aggressive din ako eh. Ikaw ba, Ingrid?
I'm an aggressive type of investor as well.
Oo, I think, usually ito din napapansin ko, I think it comes with where you are right now eh. Kung baga, age bracket mo din. Mostly talaga pag 30 or 35 below, mostly they are more inclined into aggressive or long-term investments. Yun yung yun yung parang na-notice ko to most millennials. Alright, so meron pa bang mga nag-comment ng kanilang Oo, I think marami sa mga viewers natin, Ingrid, no, are more aggressive. Okay, so guys, now that you know your risk profile, let's learn naman right now what type of mutual fund best suited for you. Okay, now that you know your risk profile, let's learn your mutual fund that fits for you. Of course, what we have is the money market fund. Okay, so money market fund, ito yung a type of mutual fund that seeks stable return by investing in fixed income instruments. So ano ba yung mga example ng fixed income instruments? So the likes of time deposits, treasury bills, okay? Those type of instrument na hindi masyadong long term, on average, dapat 1 year lang or less. Okay? In fact, money market fund is the most conservative type of mutual fund. So if you're a conservative, then this might be a good fit for you.
Yeah, so for another conservative type of mutual fund, we have what we call the fixed income fund or bond fund. So basically, yung mga fund managers of fixed income fund or bond fund, they invest in government bonds, corporate bonds, and the difference between investing in bonds versus investing directly sa bond fund is that in a bond fund, it pulls money, di ba? Katulad, yun nga, kung ano ibig sabihin ng mutual fund, it pulls money from different investors for the fund managers to invest in a variety of bonds. So bond funds are usually, yun ang great news about bond funds is that they usually require lower initial investments, which gives you a cheaper way to invest for as low as 5,000 pesos. And of course, provide you a greater diversification.
Yes, and of course, Ingrid, we also have what we call equity fund. Okay, this is my personal favorite because I'm an aggressive investor. Equity fund or kilala din siya as stock funds. Okay, so since mga viewers natin, they can relate to this kasi a lot of you here are aggressive, right? So what are equity funds? Okay, it's a type of mutual fund na yung priority niya is to seek long-term capital appreciation and is primarily invested in stocks of different companies. So, to simply put it, no, parang you are buying a piece of ownership of different companies listed in the Philippines, which entitles you to a fraction of their assets or earnings. But remember, this is a mutual fund, so a professional fund manager will do it for you.
Okay. Thank you for that. But just wanted to share that it's my first fund as well where I invested when I was 19 years old kasi nakita ko nga fit din siya as an aggressive type of investor that I am. So now we move on to the next mutual fund, that is balance fund. Okay, so these funds invest in a mix of equities or stocks, which was discussed by Mao, and fixed income, securities, and also or bonds. So the thing that you have to remember here is that balance funds tends to be more risky than the fixed income fund, but less risky than the stock funds or equity funds. So if you're the type of investor that finds bond funds too conservative and equity funds too aggressive, I believe this might be the right fund for you. Ayan. So, just to summarize lang what Mau and I discussed, okay? So, if you're a conservative type of investor, the suitable fund to you is fixed income fund and also money market fund. On the other hand, if you're an aggressive type of investor, then the suitable fund for you is an equity fund. But again, if you find equity fund too aggressive and fixed income too conservative, then you might be in the middle, that is a moderate type of investor. So the best suitable fund to you is a balanced fund. Okay? So ayan, papakita namin ngayon what's good in FAMI is that we cater to all kinds of investors. So these are the FAMI managed funds from conservative to aggressive. So feel free to take a screenshot of this para may copy din kayo. But again, we have our website which you could learn more about our funds. And if you want to learn more about our funds, stay tuned to our next FB Live episodes wherein we will discuss one by one these funds. Okay? So now, maybe that's it for our presentation, and we move on to the Q&A. So I think the first question here and the always question is, Mao, how much is the minimum initial investment to open a FAMI account and how to open a FAMI account?
Yes, madalas ko ding naririnig na question to, no? So, sometimes kasi when we hear the word mutual fund investment, usually parang nabibase natin siya na, baka pang ano lang yan, pang mayaman lang yan, para lang yan sa mga malalaki yung capital or asset. Okay. So, the good thing about mutual fund here in the Philippines, as we are highly regulated by SEC, Securities Exchange Commission. So, the minimum requirement for you to open or set up your mutual fund investment is only 5,000 pesos. For as low as 5,000, you can now already start your journey. You can now act on your goals and your commitment to yourself to do your personal finance and investing. Now, how do you set up? How do you open an account if it's only 5,000? Okay, with FAMI, with FirstMetroAsset, we have initiated na more on tayo kasi Ingrid, digitalization. So, as much as possible, we wanna give you comfort and convenience when you open your account. So, you may visit our website, fami.com.ph. Sa upper right portion yan, merong tab doon, open an account. So from there, you can submit your details and start your mutual fund investment. Or for those naman who are banking in Metrobank, you can also visit any Metrobank branches to open your mutual fund investments.
Okay, so another question from Jeff Labarejoas, yan. So which is better, direct stocks or mutual funds? So basically yung difference ng directly investing in the stock market is that sabihin natin na ikaw yung driver, ikaw yung merong full responsibility when to start, when to buy, or when to stop, or when to redeem your stocks na gusto mong bilhin in the market. Whereas when you invest in a mutual funds, again, madaming types kaming nabanggit ni Ms. Mao kung ano yung mga different types of mutual funds which you can invest in. But if you're an aggressive type, baka you might want to look into an equity fund because, ayan, katulad ng si Mao or ako, we have our daytime job and we don't have that much time, okay? Because investing directly in the stock market is really time consuming kasi ang dami mong kailangan gawing research. But then again, when you go into mutual funds, we have fund management. We have fund managers who will carefully select stocks for you. And I think depende na rin yun sa goal mo. But I think you could do both if you have the time. Yeah, but if you don't have, I think mutual fund might be a better option for you. Ayan. So I hope that answers your question. Next now, ayan, from Sir Martin Edmark, he asked, if I'm a moderate type of investor, pero gusto ko pong mag-invest sa equity, pwede ba yun?
Okay. Yes, Sir Martin, good afternoon. Oh, that's a good question actually. So, when investing in mutual fund, wala naman tayong limitation or parang may sinasabi tayo na parang rules talaga na if you are a conservative, dun ka lang sa conservative or aggressive lang talaga. The good thing about mutual fund, you can initially invest to any type of funds. Well, kahit if you're conservative or aggressive. Pero lang, always consider the factors or the consequences when you do that. Kasi for example, pag you tried kunwari, conservative ka, or in your case, sir, you're a moderate type of investor, but gusto mo din mag-try ng pure equities or stocks. Pwede, you can do that, but yung risk involved lang yan, you should bear it in mind or you should be ready, no, emotionally. Kasi baka, example nito, Ingrid, no, kunwari, may funds ka, tapos i-invest mo siya in our equity fund. And then, biglang gagamitin mo siya for less than a year. We will never know kasi what will be the performance by then after 1 year. So, yung consequences lang niyan, sir, or yung factors lang niyan is baka by the time, hindi ma-meet yung expectation mo doon sa desired na parang return out of your equity fund investment. Kasi nga, gagamitin mo na eh. Especially if shorter yung duration niya. But yes, to answer, wala po tayong limitation, sir. You can invest to any funds, to any type, as long as you are aware of its factors and risk involved out from it. I hope I answer your question, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mao. So there's another question from Miriam Reyes. How long will you advise to take profit in mutual funds for equity funds? Ayan.
How long? I'm sorry, ano again? How long?
Actually, yung first question niya, when the market is high, is it still good to continue to invest or buy shares in mutual funds or buy shares for equity funds?
Okay. Siguro with that, I always go back to your priorities or goals, ma'am. If though naman when investing, the golden rule is always you buy when it's low, you sell when it's high. If yung existing investment mo naman kumikita na, of course, there are times na gusto din natin to take profit and enjoy the enjoy natin yung return ng investment natin. You may do that, but if you will align it to your goal, depende din kasi yan, ma'am. Kunwari, yung goal mo is for retirement and you still have, lagay na lang natin, 5 to 20 years before you retire. So, if you're building that for that purpose, then might as well keep it just where it is right now, kung ano man yung kita niya. Kasi equities naman or stocks, it will always find its way to outperform their existing level, kumbaga.
Okay. Thank you, Ma'am. Ayan, there's another question from Leo de la Cruz. Ayan, how do we avoid scams? Ayan, so actually, just yesterday, we also had a webinar regarding avoiding scams. Madami kaming programs for that, and we hope we could share with you. Madami din kaming videos in our YouTube FAMI account wherein we will teach you on how to avoid scams as well. But the thing that I would really want you to do is your assignment is really to research before you invest, okay? Meron naman tayong mga regulations by the SEC, and I hope you could check out their website as well kasi they also provide webinars for scams as well.
Yeah, and also to add that, Ingrid, no, siguro most kasi of the scam investment, they are giving or promising too good to be true na mga returns out from it. So, isa dyan sa itatanong mo is, where do they get the money to give you that return, that much return in just a short period of time? So, isa din yan sa mga red flags that you may also check before investing into that type. Okay, so we also have a question here from Sir C. Asuncion. Hello, sir. Advantages of FAMI from other mutual fund company. Okay, so sir, I just want to give a little bit background about FirstMetroAsset. No, so we are member of the Metro Bank group or umbrella, and we have a set of different fund managers, and they are very much expert on the field. In fact, our funds, especially our equity funds, are performing at the top quartile across other peers. So on top of that, sir, we provide financial service in terms of update, in terms of portfolio review, and servicing, of course, to our investors.
Okay, I believe last question na, but don't worry because we'll answer your questions naman to your, we can message you directly, ayan. But just last question, I think this is an important question as well. So, if mag-invest daw sila in FAMI, tumatanggap pa daw tayo ng e-wallet like GCash for payment for their investments?
Yes, we do. The good thing with us right now, marami na kasi tayong partners when it comes to doing your initial investment or when you do your top up. So we do have, we are accessible via 7-Eleven. Yung parang may ata sila yung click in 7-Eleven. We also have GCash.
Kaya in 7-Eleven.
Yeah. And also, we have PayMaya then, right? Or if you have naman your online banking with your banks, you can enroll a FAMI, choose any funds lang where you wish to invest it, and add it or enroll it to your biller. From there, you can easily just transfer from your bank account to FAMI.
Yan, sige. And that's actually it for our Q&A. So if you have questions, you may DM us or direct message our Facebook account. So make sure you follow us on our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at FirstMetroAsset. And you may also want to join our exclusive FAMI email list to receive practical tips straight to your inbox. So just scan the QR code to join. And to get to know more about us, please visit our website www.fami.com.ph. So let us end with a quote from one of the most successful investors we know, Mr. Warren Buffett. So he said that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Okay, so many people live life without realizing the situation of their finances. So Buffett's words are a wake-up call to examine your condition and allow that to motivate us to make a change for the better. So one must save, one must invest, and build an income stream. So if you have a full-time job, it's not entirely wrong to look for other sources of income as well, such as investing in a mutual fund. Maybe that is your goal today.
Yes, I agree, Ingrid, no? So, maybe konting push or konting action on your commitment will do to start your investment journey. Okay, so this has been Mau.
And this has been Ingrid. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. See you in our next episode. Thank you.